dinner party? Old friends? A house that feels too quiet for so much laughter? Sometimes, horror doesn't come with monsters or ghosts. It comes with a smile, a toast, and the promise that everything's fine. Tonight, we revisit The Invitation, a 2015 film, a slow-burning psychological thriller that asks one terrifying question. How far would you go to escape your pain? Let's uncover what really happened that night in the Hollywood Hills, and why it's one of the most quietly disturbing films of the decade. The story begins on a quiet drive. Will and his girlfriend Kira make their way through the winding hills of Los Angeles. The late afternoon sun paints everything in gold, too peaceful for what's about to come. They've been invited to a dinner party hosted by Will's ex-wife, Eden, and her new husband, David. It's been 2 years since the death of Will and Eden's son, Ty, in a tragedy that shattered their marriage and their lives. Since then, Eden disappeared completely. No calls, no emails, nothing. And now suddenly she's back, smiling, glowing, healed. Will keeps one hand on the wheel, the other gripping Kira's. He doesn't say it, but the thought lingers. Why now? The house hasn't changed. Large windows overlook the city. Candles flicker. The smell of wine and roasted lamb fills the air. It's beautiful. Maybe too beautiful. Inside, a familiar group of friends have gathered. Tommy and Miguel, Gina and Ben, Claire, and a few others. Everyone hugs, laughs, makes small talk, the kind that tries too hard to hide discomfort. But beneath the smiles, there's tension. Eden, dressed in white, greets Will with a warmth that feels rehearsed. Her new husband, David, stands beside her, polite, charming, but with a calmness that doesn't feel human. Then 2 strangers appear, Sadie, a young woman with an erratic grin, and Pruitt, a large, quiet man with unsettling politeness. Eden says they're friends from a community she and David joined in Mexico, a group called The Invitation. The others glance at each other. No one says anything, but the mood changes. Wine flows, candles burn, and the air grows heavy. Will looks around and notices something odd. All the doors are locked, the windows too. It's for safety, David says with a smile. But safety from what? As dinner begins, David suddenly dims the lights. He says he wants to share something meaningful. On the TV, a video begins to play. A woman, frail and dying, surrounded by strangers who smile softly as she takes her last breath. The camera lingers on her lifeless face. Eden wipes away a tear. She's free now, she whispers. David explains that the invitation teaches people how to accept death, how to release pain and embrace peace. The guests are stunned. Gina nervously laughs, thinking it's a bad joke. Ben rolls his eyes. Tommy looks uncomfortable. Will says nothing, just stares at the screen. The images flicker across his face like ghosts. He remembers his son, the hospital, the night everything broke. And for the first time, he feels it. Not grief, but danger. The mood shifts. Conversation becomes tense. Sadie laughs at strange moments. Pruitt tells a story about accidentally killing his wife and how the invitation helped him forgive himself. The friends fall silent. Only the sound of wine being poured fills the room. Will steps outside for air. The night sky is silent except for the distant hum of the city. In the yard, he notices a red lantern glowing faintly, hanging from a tree. He doesn't know it yet, but that light means something. When he returns inside, everything feels tighter, closer. The laughter is louder now, but hollow. He sees Pruitt quietly lock the door again. He looks at Kira. Her smile is strained, her eyes nervous. "Something's wrong," Will whispers. The others dismiss him, say he's still haunted by grief. They call him paranoid. But Will can't ignore the pattern. The locked doors, the missing cell service. The way Eden keeps saying, "You don't have to suffer anymore." And then there's the door to the basement, locked from the inside. David gathers everyone around again. He raises a glass. "To peace," he says softly. Everyone hesitates. The tension feels unbearable, as if the air itself is holding its breath. Will's eyes dart to the glasses of wine. He sees the faintest reflection of red, not from the candlelight, but from the lantern outside. He acts on instincts. He slaps Kira's glass from her hand. It shatters across the floor. "Don't drink it!" he shouts. For a moment, silence, and then Gina gasps, choking, collapsing. David reaches under the table. A gun flashes. The room explodes into chaos. Pruitt moves with terrifying calm, pulling a pistol from his jacket. Sadie lunges at Will, screaming. Chairs fall. Plates break. Screams echo through the house. In seconds, the dinner party becomes a massacre. Will and Kira fight back, desperate, disoriented. Kira smashes a wine bottle, cutting Sadie's throat. Will tackles David, wrestles the gun away, fires blindly. The silence that follows is almost unbearable. Bodies everywhere. The smell of wine now mixed with blood. Will and Kira stumble through the wreckage. Their friends lie still. Tommy, Gina, Ben. The laughter, the warmth, all gone. In the corner, Eden lies bleeding. She looks at Will with childlike sadness. "I just wanted to let go," she whispers. "I wanted to be free." Will takes her hand. There's nothing left to say. Outside, the lantern glows brighter now, red and steady. The hills are silent. The world feels empty. Will and Kira step outside into the night, trembling, lost. And then they see it. Across the dark hills, dozens of red lights flicker to life. One on every house, one in every yard. Dozens of lanterns glowing like dying stars. Each one marks another gathering, another ritual, another dinner where people are drinking the same poisoned wine. The invitation wasn't a cult, it was a movement. A synchronized act of mass suicide disguised as spiritual peace. And Will realizes the truth. What happened in this house is happening everywhere. The camera pulls back, red lights scattered across Los Angeles. Sirens in the distance, the faint hum of a city quietly dying. Will closes his eyes. He survived. But at what cost? The invitation isn't just about a cult. It's about grief, denial, and the seductive comfort of surrender. Every character at that table represents a way of coping with loss. Eden chooses forgetting. David chooses belief. Will chooses pain. Eden's calm isn't peace, it's detachment. She's hollowed out her humanity in exchange for serenity. The red lanterns symbolize release, but also control. A single color shared by thousands of people, all convinced they're finally free. The real horror isn't the poison or the violence. It's how reasonable it all sounds when you're broken enough to believe it. Will, on the other hand, accepts pain as proof of being alive. He's the only one who still feels the weight of love, regret, and guilt. And that's why he's the only one left standing. The invitation proves that the scariest monsters are never supernatural. They're the people who smile, hold your hand, and promise to take the pain away. It's a film about grief disguised as horror, and horror disguised as peace. And maybe that's why it lingers. Because deep down, we all want someone to tell us it's okay to let go. Thanks for watching the Pulse movie. Subscribe for more psychological thrillers. Explain one heartbeat at a time.